Hi, I'm Katie Sky. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Pinecone. This is my fall island and this is the build we did last week, the land bridge and Fauna's house. Look, there she is enjoying it. And this week we're going to work on this area back here, which is going to be Hazel's house. And then we're also going to work on this house here, which is going to be Marty's house. I have some really cute ideas and let's get started. Obviously we have to start with our helmet and some terraforming, because what is a video of mine without there being terraforming? I did cut a lot of it out because I'm tired of seeing the terraforming, so I'm sure you are as well. But we're just going to put a little terraforming next to Hazel's house, and we're gonna also continue the river that started in front of Fauna's house up into Hazel's area, and then obviously decorate around it. And now we're just gonna put the water in. Again, I'm not gonna put all of it in here because there was a little bit of a struggle, especially with the bridge, which I'm putting in now. And I did not think that you really needed to see me struggle for so long putting in yet another diagonal bridge. And now we're just connecting the river to the waterfall. And then the water is gonna go behind Hazel's house. And a little bit behind Marty's house as well. And you'll see that you won't see the ending of where the river ends up in this video, but you will in next week's video. But nothing too crazy, just some water and terraforming. As always, it feels like none of my videos are pure decorating. They all have to have some sort of terraforming in them. This build surprisingly took a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Not because it's a big build, well, it is kind of a big build, but not because it was a big build. Mostly because I could not figure out what I wanted to do for the longest time in Hazel's area. And I kept going back and forth on what I wanted to do, and eventually I figured it out, but man, it took a while. And so it ended up taking me several days to do a build that would normally only take me like one. But we're just connecting the paths from Fauna's house to the bridge so that you know that you can go through here. And it wasn't gonna, because it's diagonal bridge, it wasn't going to work right. Like, it wasn't gonna line up right with using just the paths, so I did do the dirt path instead right at the bridge, and then connect that to the build, which the build that's kind of connected to Hazel's area is going to be a plant store. So she kind of does all of like the plants and quite a few of the flowers on this island. And now we're just back in front of Fauna's area and working on the path. Again, I've done so much pathing on this island. I'm sick of it, so you must be sick of it as well. So I'm only leaving little tidbits of it in there because it's doing the same thing over and over and over. And now I'm just working on the path that's gonna lead in front of Marty's house. I don't know why I struggled so much with re-angling this path like I did, but I really did. Like, I could not get it to do what I wanted it to do. But we eventually got there, as is always the case, so bear with it, obviously. It took longer than I thought it should, though. I was frustrated. And that certainly seems to be the theme of this island, just getting frustrated. And I don't normally get this frustrated with an island, but this island sure is testing me. And now we are moving on to Hazel's little plant area, popping down some simple panels with these cute designs I found on it, and putting the stalls down so that we can pop these little potted plants, a little decoration, and then I even dropped one of the flower bags, which I think looks really cute. And then I also put a little leaf stool down and did the same thing with a sapling, just so it looks like this is one place that you can buy like the little starters. I think it's cute. And now we're just gonna put down some plants in the greenhouse box to kind of show what she could be selling. So just a variety. And of course we need to put a little sign so you know that this is a plant shop. I did not make this sign. I am not that talented. It is super cute. And we're gonna do a little like work area, like one of her work areas over here, like where maybe she pots them so that they're ready to be bought. So I used the wooden plank table, I think it's called, because I thought that it looked very organic and something that would be in a plant shop. And then we're just putting down some natural things, bushes, flowers, the usual, a little yucca plant, I think that's what that one's called, and just filling in some of these little areas. And I did throw some stuff up on that cliff, but it was just the silo and some natural bits, so I didn't think it was that fun to watch. And now we're moving on to right next to her house, where we're going to put the little garden wagon, a tree, which I couldn't put where I wanted to because of the bridge, as is usual. And I wanted to shift that garden wagon over because you couldn't see most of it. And then a little stool with another little plant dropped on it. Do you see a theme? And then just adding some more little codes, another plant, making sure that you know that it's all connected and that she in fact is the one that runs the plant shop. Can't have any confusion happening. And throwing down some codes, and then I'm putting another little leaf stool because I love the leaf stools, they're so cute, and this is the perfect island for them, and a little wand. And moving on to putting some codes down in front of her house. Can't forget the welcome mat. And then the next day, because I got tired after that, we're moving on to the left side of her house where we're gonna put a little storefront and a balloon, as I put in every build it seems. And we're gonna start on her little work area, her second work area really, but this is like the main one where she tinkers with things. I don't really know what plant people do. I kill most plants that come into contact with me. I can keep my dog alive. I cannot keep a plant alive. Don't know why, but that's just what it is. So I know you need soil and water, so there we go. We got a drinking fountain and a bucket so that she can water her little flowers and plants and trees and soil them, fertilize them. That's the word. I get so annoyed with the fact that we cannot put items closer to the doors of the houses. It's so irritating because I wanted to put a cute little flower or a little item, but I couldn't get anything, so it has to be just custom codes, which I think is quite rude. So we've just put down a bunch of plants on the table that maybe she's working on or trying to rescue from people like me who kill their plants. I don't know. And just gonna path to it so you can walk back here. And I wanted to add some little designs under these two items because it just looks kind of plain. So just add a little pizzazz. And that's really the great thing about custom codes, which I love about this game, is it makes the decorations pop more when we can add things underneath it to make it look more lived in. I love custom codes. I'm not the best at making them, but I try, and I'm still learning, but they're lots of fun. And we're just gonna start popping in some trees. Some of these do change because I don't know what I was thinking, but some of them just, it was like the same types right in front of each other, and my brain doesn't like it when I do that. So later in the video you'll see me flip some of them around, but just adding in some little filler areas, and then we're gonna move on to this bigger filler area, which is gonna be like a little flower garden, where Hazel like grows the different types of flowers that you see all over the island. So this is like maybe where they originally came from, and she's just like spreading the flower love. But we're gonna use the in-game dirt path to do that, the light dirt, because I did not have dark dirt at this time. I don't know why I didn't just go get some dark dirt, but it worked out. And we're gonna sprinkle in a couple of items with the flowers because I think it looks cute like that, and that's really the only reason. So like this little mush stool, the wheat field, and of course all of the flowers. And I did have to go get more flowers because I ran out. More stacked bags for like soil, fertilizer, plant food, what have you. I might not be a plant person, but my mom is a plant person, so I know a lot of the stuff that you're supposed to do. My plants just always die, and I'm not really sure why. Oh, that rhymed a little bit. Anyway, so I didn't like those two orange hardwood trees right across from each other, so I did change it, and I did it a large, so I had to put a little fruit so that it doesn't grow. And then pop the wheat field back down. This island has so much wheat field, it's gonna lag so bad, but I love wheat field. It makes me so happy. It's fun to run through, okay? I enjoy it. And I went and I grabbed some of the yellow flowers as well because I didn't have any in my pocket. And we're just gonna put those down too. And then a couple more designs, a little pine cone because it is pine cone. So, very cute. Have to have the pine cones. You gotta make sure that you're representing this island. And I needed a little toy duck to go on the little puddle, and of course we need the watering can because you gotta water the flowers. And then some little weeds and another flower. And then I did change this flower into a tree because I wanted another tree. That's the only reason why. And just doing some more filler area. I know that I jump around a lot, but it's just how I decorate. It's probably because of my ADHD, but like I'm sorry if it irritates you that I don't finish an area before I move on. It's just how I kind of operate. I'll be like, ooh, wait, I need to do this. And then I forget what I was in the middle of. And then I end up back in the same area doing the cute little mushroom mush stools that you can sit on and sit at the little table. And now we're kind of moving more towards Marty's area, which Marty is so cute, and his little area I'm absolutely obsessed with. The area that he has is going to be a cute little honey stand. And I'm sorry, I'm so obsessed with these codes that I found. Like, I cannot. And then for some reason the tree was going through in a glitch and I did not like that. So we had to go on to a half tile instead, which is fine. And then pushing the stall into place. And of course adding a pumpkin because it's fall. Well, not in IRL, but like on the island it's fall. But putting them in backwards so that you don't see the like jack-o'-lantern base because it is not Halloween. I will be doing a Halloween island, but just not right now. I have another island after this that I'm really excited for, and then maybe we'll see about a Halloween island. but we have to do our summer bee island, especially because I decided to do a fall island in spring for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why I decided to do that, but here we are. And now we're going to move on to the left side of Marty's house, where he is also getting, it's kind of like a flower field as well, flower garden, but it's for the bees, so it's different. I mean, I'm sure the bees go to everything on the island, but still, it's for the bees. And we're gonna add a cute little fence. Yeah, that's the word. I forgot the word fence. Oh my gosh. And I did the country fence instead of the barbed wire fence because I just think the barbed wire fence isn't cute enough for this island. Like, this island is kind of cutesy, and I feel like that's kind of out of out of theme. I did use it over in Hazel's area, but I only did one, so it's not the same as like a full fence. I don't know. This is the fence I decided on. And now we're gonna add in the little beehives. What are they called? The beekeeper's hive. And I'm adding a few in just so that the bees have options, because we gotta make sure that the bees are happy, because the bees help the world and pollinate. Although I'm allergic to most pollen, so that's not super fun for me. But now we're moving on to the flowers. And then I ran out of flowers, so I decided to go work on something else for a while before I went and I got more. And we're adding a little beehive over on this side, so it's kind of like you can see the bees. I'm not really sure. And just doing some little tiny decorations, planks, wheat field, trees, bushes, flowers. And then I'm adding in a little code so that the planks go all the way to the stall and underneath the bench. And then I have this cute spilled honey code that I found, and I wanted to use it everywhere. It's so freaking cute. And back to the left side, we're gonna add in some trees for some height, and then immediately move back to the other side. I don't know why I'm like this. Well, I do. I have ADHD, but besides that, like, it's so frustrating to watch, I'm sure. But we gotta get our little mat, our welcome mat, and add in another little tree. And then I immediately noticed that I put two hardwoods next to each other, and that's just not the vibe. And watch me struggle to plant the fruit to stunt this. I don't know why that happened. And then I'm just gonna switch this out for a cedar, and then this is when I realized I had like 4 cedars all in a row, and I was like, no, that will not do. I must change, because for some reason it hurts my eyes, even though in real life I'm like, yeah, cool, cedars next to each other, that makes total sense. But in the game I'm like, no, immediate jail. And now we're just gonna work on the little filler area by the edge, which you can get a sneak peek of where Nooks is gonna be eventually. I don't know when that video is gonna come out, but it's gonna be one of the last builds, I think. But just adding some trees, rocks, shrub, flowers. Just very small, simple things in this area. But I didn't want there to be 2 hardwood trees in line with each other, so I switched the cedar with the hardwood. And we're gonna add in some more stacked bags, as one does, and then a little hive here in front of his house, and then also some like little honey spilled like right at his door, because maybe he spilled some going in or out of his house or to and from the hives. I don't know, I thought it was really cute. And like I said, I loved this code and I wanted to use it literally everywhere. So I kind of did. And then he's just gonna get a cute little code and a little free library, tiny library. It could be an actual library, it could be his mailbox, I don't know, but I think it's cute. And again, just moving on to some more filler areas, trying to get stuff done. And then I finally went to Nooks and got some of the yellow flowers because like I said, I completely ran out, so I needed to fill this little area in, and now we are. So right now we're starting with the yellow cosmos, making sure nothing is too close to each other, and then throwing down the lilies. I didn't want anything to be like 2 roses in a row or anything like that. I don't know why, it's just how my brain is. And so I was trying to make sure that it looked random, but it didn't look too random. I don't know that that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, but that might be the only head it makes sense in. But, you know, it all turns out good, so. I feel like I say that a lot when it comes to my designing of islands. And then I didn't like where this lily was, so I decided to move it over to where the other area. Actually, I think I just put it exactly back where it was. I had meant to move it over to where the Cosmo was. I don't know why I just put it back. Anyway, we're moving back to a little filler area. There's a lot of filler areas on this island. I'm now realizing there might be an entire video just for filler. I'm not sure, but I wanted to use the silo because I never really have an opportunity to use a silo, and I thought that it was because I needed a big item, and I'm like, it kind of goes with like the farming flower theme. And this well, the brick well, the dimensions of it are so frustrating because it's never centered. I don't know why they did this to us, but I don't like it. But it's a cute item, so I still use it. And then just adding in a cute little tree that you probably won't be able to see. But I didn't want it to be too tall and block the house in case somebody wants to take a picture. And by somebody, I mean me. And now we're finally getting back to the pathing. And then immediately got distracted again. I put a cute little tricycle down though. Maybe that's how Marty gets around the little town. The island. And I'm like, it's so cute. And again, I don't get to use it very often. So again, doing a little filler area on the top part of the path. And a little antique radio. I don't normally put like radio things because I don't like listening to them in game, and they always end up irritating me, so. But I put one in this time. It hasn't annoyed me yet, so we'll see what happens. But again, more filler and then more pathing, as is every build, it seems. So much pathing, so much filler. But again, it's really cute in the end. And I'm not really gonna do this area I'm in right now. I'm just kind of doing the edges. That'll be in the next video, I believe. I'm pretty sure. But just so it didn't look really weird. So I did a little bit of it, and then I was like, let's not do that. This is already a really big build. Let's just finish this. That can be future Katie's issue. And we are done. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Come along the journey with us as we finish Pinecone off. And I love this area. I hope you did too. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!